Yes. Yes. Welcome everyone to my fucking live chat. The most inconsistent YouTube live chat of all time. And today I'm not stoned. I'm sober, completely sober. So let's have a fucking what's the word I'm looking for? I've just had this in my head. Look at the beard. Do you know what? I am the heaviest. There he is. Yes, Supreme. Yes, Jamie. I'm the heaviest That's actually a lie, because I was 17 stone once. I'm the second heaviest I've ever been, right? And I can't believe I've done it. I can't believe I'm fat for summer because summer's fully here now. I've just looked outside the window. I've still got my washing out. I forgot to bring my washing in, which is sad. But yeah, I've took what I've done for this one. Because usually when I'm stoned, I can just go blah, 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 and just talk about anything whatsoever. But for this one, I've wrote a few notes about stuff we're going to talk to. So we're going to go a bit about UFC, or a lot about UFC, boxing. There's a lot about UFC because you've got UFC 304, UFC Abu Dhabi with Sanhagen versus Nurmagomedov. The UFC Noche card was announced, which I think is fucking dog shit, by the way. UFC 308 card, headliner was announced. You've got Salt Lake City. What's going to happen with Salt Lake City now? Boxing, Chisora versus Joyce. There's been so much fucking hell. Since the last time I did a live chat, mate, the fucking world's gone to shit. The fucking Tommy Robinson and all his little fucking muppets are running riot. I said it's going to be bad in Bolton. This beard is looking tight now, man. Here, is it always this tight? Or is it because the camera's picking it up? I feel like it's not always this tight. It's getting more like what's it called though? It's looking a bit patchy. I said back when I was not even this fat, Blackpool being mental. Bro, I was in Blackpool the other week. I went Blackpool last week. But I thought Bolton, yes, SP. I thought Bolton would be nuts because obviously Bolton's one of the most racist towns. It got to be in the whole of the UK. And also is probably 50% Asian. So I thought, obviously, two worlds collide. But the racist white people in Bolton are on nothing. They're not. They're just usually just muppets, pissheads. Do you know what I mean? So I think if there was if the Asian population, which I think they did, organised. Do you know what I mean? Organised a little bit. They were going to just terrorise them, and they did. If you look at all the videos from Bolton, it's just Asians chasing fucking white people. I suppose not all white people, but right-wing people away. So I thought Bolton was going to be worse, but I've just been sent a list. Hang on. I've been sent a list of new things, apparently, by my dad, of all people. New ones they're doing. So Blackpool, apparently, is Immigration Solicitors Enterprise Centre. These are all happening... Oh, today? Is there another one in Blackpool? Yeah, Supreme. Funny though, it was Punk Weekend and they wasn't have it as it was Punk Weekend. What's Punk Weekend? I don't know. Yeah, because punk and skinheads and that are not all necessarily racist, are they? Yeah, it's happening now. Yeah, apparently there's one happening in Bolton. Dean and Bolton immigration lawyers on Charlie New Road. That won't go down well, Charlie New Road is a massively Asian community and there's a massive mosque there and that will not go down well. Right, I was going to start on the UFC stuff, but we're on it now. So what Tommy Robinson? Is no one else thinking this is the biggest scam of all time? I know I said it in one of the short things, but who's watching them? No one. Tommy Robinson, right? He's not been here for fucking ages. He's been low-key for months, maybe a year or something. Pops out of nowhere when nothing's going on. Bear in mind, he came and rioted before the Southport thing happened. If he'd have known this Southport thing was happening, he'd have been better off doing his little stupid fucking London thing after it. But he didn't. He did it before it because obviously he didn't have a clue what was going. He didn't know who could have known that the Southport thing was going to happen. So he does this march, but what was he protesting with the march? Blackpool's various weekends, Pigeon, Young Farmers, Scots, Punk Rebellion Festival. Nowhere. Do you know what one of my biggest regrets ever, Supreme? Seriously, is and there's three things I missed because of work back in the day when I had a mad weekend job, yeah. And it's Liverpool 3-1 against Southampton when Henderson scored. It's the 4-0 against Leicester on Boxing Day. And Will Smith headlined a festival in Blackpool and I never went, and I wanted to go, but it was on a Saturday and work was just too busy on weekends and I couldn't afford to take the days off. And I never went to the fucking... Did you go to that? Was it called like Livewire or something festival, and Will Smith headlined it, and I never went. Can't believe it. Still to this day, regret missing it. But yeah, Tommy Robinson, he does this fucking march, but isn't really protesting anything. Like, what was he protesting? Just nothing had really been going on. He just sort of said, right, we're gonna have this demonstration in London. It's gonna be one of the biggest demonstrations ever. All it was a fucking big screen in Trafalgar Square. He was like, it's gonna be the biggest ever what's it called? What does he even call them? Rally, whatever, of all time. And it was just a big screen in Trafalgar Square. It was fucking nothing. And then all of a sudden he gets nicked, yeah. But if you look what he got nicked for, it was refusing a search, wasn't it, at the border? Refusing a search and passport check at the border, right? So he gets nicked by terrorism. He's clued up though. Fair play to him. And I'm not dissing this, by the way. I'm against what's come against after it, but I'm not fucking against Tommy Robinson realizing there's a fucking market there for robbing these fucking retards and getting. I seen quoted 400 grand. 400 grand in 2 days he's got off these fucking idiots. Good on him. Well done. Fair play. I wish I could fucking get 400 grand off retards by fucking pretending that I fucking hate. Well, maybe he does actually hate them, but do you know what I mean? 400 grand. So he knows if you go to Folkestone or Dover, wherever it was, it is terrorism police are going to be on the borders and on the crossings, because obviously that's, do you know what I mean? So he goes there, refuses a search, refuses something to do with his passport, gets nicked. Tell me one human being in this world ever in the history of UK law enforcement, yeah, who has been nicked on terrorism charges, real terrorism charges, and gets unconditional bail. Unconditional bail on terrorism charges. Like, are these people thick as fuck or what? He gets nicked on terrorism charges, yeah. Terrorism charges, by the way, this is what he says, terrorism charges. And 2 days later, he's in Cyprus on holiday. Are you for fucking real? And they're lapping it up. 3 Tommy fucking Robinson things everywhere. 400 grams worth of donations. People are marching around the streets because of him. I just feel like it's the biggest and best scam that's ever been pulled. Not biggest and best. Obviously, there's been bigger scams than this, but one of the biggest scams that's probably ever been pulled off. How are people fucking falling for it? I don't understand how people fall for it. He does it all the time. How many times? It's in the news. Everything. Mate, come on, Jamie. You're a smart man. Terrorism charges released on unconditional bail. If I got nicked, yeah, with 40 halves in my pocket at the football, yeah, spinning bits at the football, I would not get unconditional bail. You think people getting nicked at the border on terrorism charges are getting fucking released? He's getting remanded for his trap. Yeah, obviously he's getting remanded now, but that's not for that. That's for. I've seen that he's getting remanded for 2 other charges. He's wanted for inciting whatever riots or something, and then there's something else as well. It's not what he got nicked for. It's other things. It's the releasing of the documentary. Yeah, this is what he's getting remanded for. Nothing to do with the thing what he got nicked for, which blew him up, because doing the rally and then getting nicked and spending a day in jail. How do you donate? Louis, yes, Louis. Louis blew me off today for the beach. Fucked me off. We're supposed to go to the beach today, and he said it was too cold and fucked me off. Do you know what I'm missing right now? And it's killing me a bit. Usually, but I think it's a stone thing. Whoa, what's that? What's that? Usually, I turn the fucking TV on in the front room, and I feel like it's just dead silent in here. But I'm obviously not going to walk away and turn the TV on. But yeah, he gets nicked on terrorism charges, gets unconditional bail, which is just like the most red flag of all time. And then, so the thing that he's getting remanded for, Supreme, is the releasing of this documentary thing, and the second charge, which is inciting. Is it mass? I read an article inciting mass something violence or something like that. He's not getting the thing that he intentionally got himself nicked to add more to the scam. Obviously, he does this rally in London. He says 100,000 people turned up, but there was never 100,000 people there. Say 40,000 people turn up, and then he gets nicked. It's like oh my god, Tommy Robinson gets fucking arrested for protesting against fucking people's kids. The worst bit was, and then all these people are fucking rioting now, literally rioting and looting around the UK for what document he released. Have you not seen it? It's called, what's it called now? Silence. Then so he's got a documentary called Silence where, and actually, if you actually do look into the documentary, as much as I hate Tommy Robinson, what he says in the documentary, I think is true. Like, I do think. So the guy, some Syrian immigrant who was at a school in, I don't know, I'm going to get the facts wrong, Bradford or, not Bradford, somewhere. A Syrian immigrant was at school and he terrorized this school. Yeah, this immigrant guy, this kid, terrorized the school and usually have no respect for female teachers, no respect for female pupils. He terrorized the school like it's pretty much proven now that the kid was a bad kid, this immigrant. So then it was that video, Louis, where the white kid throws the Syrian immigrant on the floor and he like throws water in his face saying like, what are you saying now? What are you saying? All that, because apparently the Syrian guy had threatened his sister saying he was going to rape his sister. Yeah. So that bit's not proven, but that's what loads of eyewitnesses have said. So Tommy Robinson writes loads of shit on Twitter about this kid, and the kid sued him for defamation and won. That's what made Tommy Robinson bankrupt, because he had to pay this kid hundreds of thousands of pounds and pay all his legal bills and that. So, but from what I've looked at and what I've read, deep diving and shit, I think he was a bit right. I think the system did cover up the fact that this Syrian kid was a nightmare, was like a proper horrible kid, because the video of the white kid throwing water on him, on the Syrian kid, blew up. It went everywhere. It was in America. It was in every country in the world had this video of this innocent immigrant being like essentially waterboarded by some white kid in school uniform. But that wasn't the real story, and Tommy Robinson released the real story. But the kid got proper famous. I mean, yeah, he did. Yeah. He sued Tommy Robinson and got awarded like $100,000 or something, like serious money. So this band, yeah, Supreme. This band's from your fucking neck of the woods, right? Some fucking Supreme. I went to Blackpool with mum and JJ, and we was walking up near the pleasure beach, and some guy with a fucking dog chained up comes up to us, and I was laughing. I can't believe I let my mum get scammed, but it was funny, and I felt tight on the kid. He's got turkey teeth, yeah, but like not nice turkey teeth, big, massive white turkey, like, do you know, like the mask, like Jim Carrey, the mask. And he's like, I'm working, the most vague charity ever. He goes, I work with kids with mental health, shows this little lanyard. And I'm thinking, mate, come on, I could make a lanyard in 4 minutes on Photoshop. He goes, I'm selling these wristbands, all the money goes to fucking mental health charities. And I'm thinking, fuck off, mate. And he's like, and my mum goes, oh, we've got no cash. He's like, oh no, but I take card as well. Loads up this little app on his phone. Bear in mind, my mate in Glassdoor had this app on his phone, and to show him it worked, put £1 in it, and I paid the £1 on her finger. And he's like, oh, do you want a receipt? And my mum's like, oh no, I'm all right for a receipt. And fucking 2 for a £5 it was. Be positive, be happy, and be you. I said to him, well, I wear it all summer because of how badly he got ripped off. But she was going, no, because he had a thing round his neck. I'm thinking, mum, how fucking brand new can some people be? He's got a lanyard round his neck. People make lanyards and walk into fucking Champions League finals and stuff. My mum thinks this guy, if you'd have seen the guy and seen the way he spoke, you'd know. What are you saying, mate? Supreme's going to give me some story now about being robbed as well with these. Mate, I couldn't believe it, Supreme. Some kid right near the pleasure beach, just basically, do you know them bogs by the pleasure beach right at the top? Then you have to pay 40p to get in. Buy them. Oh, proper robbed us. Couldn't fucking believe it. And I knew as well in the worst bit, like, he's got a graft, and do you know what I mean? He's got a little dog there as well. I felt tired of him, and I just left it. And then we walked all the way up past the pleasure beach to that pizza hut. And when I walked back, I just looked at him and shook my head, and he just smiled at me. £5 for 2 fucking bands. But when I put it on my story on Instagram, my mate Danny Barron from school popped up saying, how can you moan at anyone for selling fraudulent fucking wristbands? I did the same in school. You got 2 bands for £5, bro. Fucking hell, you'd get. If I went on eBay now and put in mental health bands, I bet you can get 100 for £5. But I used to sell them as well. Locals don't fall for it. Grafters everywhere. Yeah, locals don't fall for it. I didn't fucking fall for it. My mum's the one who fell for it, but I just felt tight on the guy. I used to do it in Harper Green in secondary school. I used to sell black and white. Do you remember the black and white? Do you remember them black and white Nike racism bans. Oh, they were massive. They blew up. Louis, you'll definitely remember this because you're not that much older than me. Do you remember the white and black anti-racism night bands where they were connected? Well, I bought a job lot of them off eBay, and they weren't connected, so I had to cut them, put them inside each other so they connected, and then super glue them a tiniest little bit so you couldn't really see, and was selling them in school because obviously they blew up, and even though people were asked about it, fucking hell, people were buying them about a school in Bolton, the most racist town ever. People just wanted them, didn't they? Because all the like footballers had them, Ronaldinho wearing them and stuff. So I was selling them in school a £5. People were fucking spending the whole dinner money on them. Look, it's all right. Anyway, so we'll get off the Tommy Robinson thing. Tommy Robinson was the last note I did the second to last after the Olympic boxer. The Olympic boxer, I feel like that's blown over now. At the time when I wrote this, bear in mind, this live chat was supposed to have been on Sunday, cancelled it. No, Friday cancelled it, Sunday cancelled it, Monday cancelled it, and then today. So I feel like the boxer thing's like blown over now. So we'll go on to UFC 304. I bet this was weeks ago. 304, right? Can you believe? Last week I was watching UFC in Abu Dhabi at 10 o'clock at night. She's a woman. I know she's a woman, but the week before that, I had a fucking house party for UFC 304 and fell asleep during the main event. That happened. That's 2 weekends in a row. I fell asleep during Crawford as well. I watched UFC 304. Everyone came around here, and Chisora versus Joyce was on before it. So we came back for the Chisora versus Joyce fight because we've been out in Farnworth. Watched Chisora versus Joyce. Watched all the UFC card. And after, I used to cover it, anti-painted band up. Yeah, I used to cover the anti part of. Oh, you're horrible, you, Louis. And do you know what? I bet you did. Actually, no, you wouldn't have done. Who your dad and brothers are. No, you wouldn't have done. You're a lying bastard. Unless you did on the sly. That's horrible. But yeah, we stayed up for the UFC 304. I made it to the Aspinall fight. And then I said to them, wake me up when Edwards comes out. Because they would why was it like a half an hour break between Aspinall and Edwards when it was already like fucking 5:30 in the morning in the UK? So I fell asleep, missed the whole Edwards card. When I woke up, one of the lads had got a taxi home to Liverpool, by the way, from Bolton, and two of the other lads, Jay and Jamie, were like, Aspinall, Bilal just dominated him and won. And I was like, nah, you're messing. I thought they were lying, and they were like, yeah, he dominated him and won. I was like, there's obviously no way he dominated Leon Edwards. As you tell, I've been away. This is it. And I looked at my phone, and it was like Bilal Muhammad wins 4 rounds to 1, 3 rounds to 2. I was like, what? I would never have said Bilal would have beat Leon. He's fucking dog shit. But then Leon's dog shit. I've never, ever got into the Leon Edwards hype. He was getting dominated against Edwards. Badly dominated, by the way. By Edwards, sorry, Usman. Bails himself out with a fucking head kick in the last minute of the fight. And beats Usman again at home, and not even like a dominating fight, but a close fight where everyone knew him going into the first Edwards fight that Usman's knees are finished. He doesn't run. He can't run anymore. I said he can't even run. He can't run on the pavement. The only place he can run if he runs is on grass with special shoes on, so he swims all the time. So he beats him. Then he beats Colby Covington, who's fucking dog shit and But I thought Colby was going to do what Bilal did to him, but obviously looks like Colby's either shot or was injured or whatever, I don't know. And then obviously gets beat by Bilal. And them two, is that not just like the 2 worst champions ever simultaneously in the finger? Zubendi is some sign in that. Who's that? Who is Zubendi? I've just been talking about that with Sean. Who said that they were signing number 6? Honestly, if you don't have Twitter, you do not know anything. I don't know anything about the world. No news. I went back on Twitter for the Tommy Robinson thing because I wanted to see what people were saying about it, and I just feel like I'm finished with Liverpool, like I don't care at all. Zubendi. 25. Well, I haven't ever heard of a 25-year-old Real Sociedad. No idea who this kid is. Never, ever heard of him in my life. Been at Real Sociedad all his career. That's good then. It says current team Liverpool on Wikipedia. Spain, 10 caps. Is he good? How much are we paying for him? How much are we paying for this guy? If we're buying him, we should sell Endo. Who's this? That prize guy. Can you believe that? I got he came on for Rodri in the final. Yeah, that's what Sean said. He came on for Rodri in the final. I watched the final as well. 60 million. Supreme. 60 million. We're not paying 60 million for him, surely. 60 million for some kid I've never heard of in my life. No way. Can't be true. 60 million. It's his clause. You can negotiate outside of these clauses. 60 million for a number fucking 6. Is he even that good? 26, you would never even heard of him. That prize guy, by the way, fuck me. Finally, after seeing his advertisements everywhere, got drawn in by that £1 million thing for fucking, I think it was £7 or something. Ended up winning about 3 things. Prize guy. Let's have a look. Order confirmation. The biggest prize ever, $4.99 for 1 ticket. Because the draw was at 9 p.m. that day. So I fucking did it and lost. And then I paid 50p for £300 cash. Why would I pay for it? I don't even know why I did that. 50p for a £300 cash. When was this? Sunday? Yeah. 99p for a £1,000 cash and 99p for a £1,000 holiday plus a £1,000 spending money. I don't think I won any of them. That prize guy, man, what a robbery. Do you know what else I did as well? So I was looking at buying a camper van the other day, about 3-4 days ago. I was looking at it, still laugh at me saying them 2 CVs. I can't believe Jamie has never had a 2CB before yet. So we all had half each watching the UFC. And then Seb, being a little hungry bastard, said to me, "Oh, come on, can we have another half each?" So me and Seb had another half each, and it was kicking my head in, yeah, twatting me. Like, good because we had proper giggles, but bad because, you know, sometimes when like you can't even type on your phone and you're looking at the screen and everything's a bit weird. Jamie, who's never had one, says the first half doesn't feel anything. So then him and Seb share another half each. So Seb's on 1.5 now, Jamie's on 1. And then Jamie's trying to say that he said dud and nothing's happened. And then next thing, we've all got the worst giggles. He's fucking off his head. He was lying outside on the fucking outside couch on his own for about, on his own. I ended up joining him for about half an hour. What fight was that during? Oh no, to be honest, you did the best thing staying outside. Who was that bald fucking idiot, mate, who lost to the Brazilian guy? Why was he random? None of them were ranked. Why was he just randomly like third from the top of the card? What's his name now? Duncan something. He was fucking dog shit, and the person he fought was dog shit. I flatly refused to leave Sociedad, but the usual suspects say that we'll pay 60. He flatly refused to leave Sociedad, but the usual suspects say that we will pay the 60 million release. What, does he not want to leave Sociedad? So don't buy a player who's not trying to leave. Because he just won't settle in England, and the next thing will be fucking loaning him back. Mad the way they make screens and words. Oh, it's bad, innit? How bad is it when you look at your phone and it's all like running, the letters are running off your phone and you can't type because when you type a letter and it clicks on the screen, it jumps up and stuff. Jamie saying they were dud. They were fucking sick. My only regret was we ended up that day crashing the 21st party. and my only regret was that we never had them before that we waited till we got back here. But it was good. It was good having them here, but it would have been better before that party. So I went to a 21st party and there's a woman round here. Did Seb give that kid a chance? Nah, he never. That was fucking... Yeah, it is. Supreme, it is. It's acid. 2 CBs are acid, ket, and ecstasy, I think. Is it pills? Acid, ket, and I think ecstasy is a 2 CB. Nah, Jamie, I don't think Seb gave him a chance. So, how weird is this, yeah? So some guy messages Seb saying, like, come on, bro, like, take me on for your scaffolding for... like I'm hard work and all this. 4 minutes. Bear in mind, this is 2 a.m. Yes, Declan. Then 24 pitters. Yeah, 20. Can anyone believe this? Look at this, yeah. Look at this. So I got a Too Good To Go today from Asda on Long Causeway. The only reason why I got it is because my mum got one. And let me just, before I tell you what I got today, look what I got last time, right? Because I sent it to that thing. Hang on. Here she is. All right, look. So this is what I got last time for £4.40, right? Look at that, yeah. 3 big fucking sick pizzas, Rolo yogurts, pineapple, 2 of them Jamaican patties, cheese and onion pie, mozzarella, ham. Look at that, a 12-piece, ring dad, a 12-piece Indian thing, yeah, for £4.40. That is probably, if you think about it, the best Too Good To Go that anyone's ever had for £4.40, right? So then, how do I X that? So then, I get another one today. What's she said? Hang on. Oh, let's see what it is. All right, never mind. So then I get another one today from the same place, and look at that. What are you supposed to do with that? It all expires today. 6 strawberry trifles, 3 packs of 2, 6 mozzarellas, yeah, a red top milk that goes out a day today, 3 buttery baby and herby baby tomatoes that are not, it says not suitable for freezing, 2 pasta sauces, and 24 white pita breads with a yogurt. What the fuck am I supposed to do with all that? That's not worth £4.40. If that was on sale, yeah, if you went in a shop and there was a fucking goodie bag on sale and it showed you, I wouldn't fucking have that for £4.40. £4.40, look how shit that is. What am I going to do with all that? Obviously, the mozzarella cheese it'll last a week after it's a day, but what am I going to do is 6 blocks of mozzarella cheese? Fucking terrible. No, Declan, I have not made a fucking dent in any of it. I've not had any of it yet. I've had one trifle. Me and JJ shared a trifle, and I gave one trifle to the neighbour. The worst ever. Yes, Kyle, my guy. Kyle Tilsley. One of the sickest guys ever. One of the sweetest left foots you'll ever see, ever. But one of the laziest. Yeah, one of the laziest players I've ever seen. You don't run, do you, Kyle? Doesn't run, but he's got a wand of a left foot. Whereas all I do is run and don't have a wand of a right foot. Well, I've got a good right foot in terms I can finish and I can pass, but I ain't got any. I've not really many. I've never had a trick in me. Never had a trick in me. No step overs, no nothing. Jan Moby. Was Jan Moby left footed? Because your left foot was insane. You and Aidan Potter, we had 2 of the most left footed players ever in our fucking 5-a-side team. We were serious on Prems, and then I took it to the next level on fucking. You said once, Kyle, in a tweet, I should have got the ballon. I should have got the 5-a-side Ballon d'Or. I was a serious 5-a-side footballer. Yes, Mike. How are you doing, Mike? I was a serious 5-a-side player, Kyle. I was a serious footballer. I just retired from 11-a-side because 11-a-side was on Saturdays or Sundays, and I was a pisshead from the age of 18. So my last ever football team was under 18s. Because then, as soon as I turned 18, I was in town every single Friday and Saturday night. I was not waking up on Saturday to go to fucking, obviously, or back then as well, a lot of football was on Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff. So I'd go to Liverpool games. Some would be on Sunday. I weren't missing Liverpool games to play for fucking Farnworth Town or Newbury Knights. You know what I mean? I say that to Alex. Alex fucking Shaw, mate, still plays football now. What is he, 31-year-old? I think, fucking give it up, mate. Why are you still playing football now, Seb? He's paying subs to play football. I just think, fuck it off. Give it up, man. No, I promise you don't. Won't be paying to play football at this age. I stopped at 18 playing 11-a-side football because why am I going to pay subs to play football at 23-year-old against people that are usually the same as me, fucking hungover to the death? No, give it up. 5-a-side, that's different. I played 5-a-side all through my 20s. But 11-a-side, you need to be given... If you're not going to make it to any sort of decent level, 11-a-side football, you need to be giving that up at 18-year-old. Otherwise, I just think, what are you doing with your life? I know it must be... I miss it. I miss the camaraderie of playing in a football team. Like when I played under 8, obviously I played all my life up until 18-year-old. I miss the camaraderie of a football team. But what are you doing with your life? Give up football. Kyle, you definitely still play, don't you? 32-year-old, you're definitely still playing. Nah, the best days ever. No, it's not, Supreme. I promise you, bro. It's not the best days ever. The best days ever, again, fucking blitzed Friday and Saturday. Not waking up to fucking kick a ball around on a boggy, overgrown, or basically no grass pitch. Yes, Kyle, who are you playing for nowadays? 7-a-side, yeah, but I don't think there's not many 7-a-side leagues, is there, Mike? 7-a-side is where it's at, Mike says, but I don't think there's many 7-a-side leagues. 5-a-side is common. Did that, then played, mate. That's what I mean, Supreme. That's why I stopped. Because when you fucking go open age at 19-year-old playing against fucking fat men who are still fucking... Some of them are half cut, some of them are still up, and some of them are rough out their head. And they're fucking so late for tackles or early for the next one, mate. It's not... Nah, it wasn't my thing, that. 5-a-side was my thing. I've won many a league 5-a-side. I've won every 7 and 5s and training for 11s, but I'm fat as fuck, mate. Are you still quite round, Kyle? But listen, your left foot will never go. I remember we played a game 5-a-side on, what was it called? That one, Kyle, in Kersley. What's it called? Manor 5s. And you played for our team, and it was the dirtiest game of all time against Ben Tatlock's team. Do you remember that game, Kyle? Or was you playing for Ben Tatlock's team? Me and Ben Tatlock were just boarding each other all game. I get on with Ben now. Yeah, man. Yeah, do you remember that, Kyle? Was you playing for their team or was you playing for my team? We beat them by 1 goal, 13-12, I think it was, if I remember correctly, or 12-11. And me and it was the dirty. There's never ever been a dirtier game of five-a-side that's ever been played in England. I don't care what anyone says. It was the dirtiest game of football of all time. We were just snapping each other. And it was that referee was dead sound, the one who was like one of the boys, and he just let everyone go, seeing the dirtiest game ever up there. I played. Yeah, you played for us, didn't you? Remember it? Against Ben Tatlock's team, and it was, and we won by 1 goal, and it was just me. Yeah, it would have been me, you, Aidan Potter. Who else played for our team then? Kyle, you know who our goalkeeper was, don't you? Who got this cough? Woke up at Rivington Services at 9, had to kick off at 11. Fuck knows how we did it. Yeah, fuck that. Do you remember my goalkeeper, Kyle? I've won about 6 five-a-side leagues because of fucking... Can you even say his name? Steve Godridge. I seen a post from some lad on Instagram saying all these right-wing supremists, no one said anything when all these got caught, and it was a big fucking picture thing of all white UK predators, and Steve Godridge was up there. I know, Kyle, how bad is it, man? Life in prison he's got. He's got life in prison now. He got 9 years, didn't he? 9 years. And then he was on remand for that. Before they got the 9 years, he was on remand. And then come out on bail, did it again, whilst out on bail. Got 9 years. Come out after them 9 years, because I think he served 5 or something, and then did it again. So some Scousebird, some girl in Liverpool, innit? She's just been given life. I'm not obviously laughing about it because it's fucking terrible what he's done and everything. And when he got out, when he was on bail, I was at the Shell petrol garage station at the bottom of Araby Street, and filling my car up, and then my head's glued to my phone, and I walk into the petrol station, and I just say, "Yes, will you?" And I went, "Yes, bro." Just because you just do, don't you? Sometimes you just randomly answer. And I looked up, and it was him, and I said, "Mate, never ever speak to me." And he fucked off. And I remember when he came out on bail as well. He messaged everybody on Xbox saying new Xbox name, Steve. And I'm thinking, are you messing? What do you mean new Xbox name? I don't want to be friends with you, mate. Yeah, I went out with Ash K for England game, and he was telling me fucking rough, bro, rough. But what a keeper he was, Kyle. What a keeper, mate. He was a serious goalkeeper, wasn't he? Remember he came out on bail and Pud let him play for Falmouth Town or whatever you're Falmouth Town, aren't you? The Royal team. Right, let's get off the fucking topic of Steve Godridge, man. Fuck me. Right, what else we got? Did we finish 3 or 4? Yeah, 3 or 4. Edwards, Bilal, Colby Boy, Arnold, Mokayev, Yarira. There's loads of stuff to talk about 3 or 4. Where does Edwards go for me? I would like to see Edwards versus Ian Gary. I think that's a sick fight, Edwards versus Ian Gary. Yeah, Royal member, and he played against some team from Little Luton, and they were all saying, once this game's finished, we're going to fill him in. He had to get subbed off and get off. Right, let's stop talking about him. Arnold Allen, I was buzzing. Arnold Allen won. The Makayev, right. Let's have it right, yeah. I know it's... People are going, oh, someone said... Not someone, that Pixie Carroll said on... He was on... He probably tweeted it, but he said it on Instagram as well. He's 7-0 in the UFC with 4 stoppages. And I'm thinking... That is not a good record. 4 stoppages. He's been fighting bums. The first decent fight he's ever fought was that Manuel Cape, and he went the distance. He's never fought anybody good. So 4 stoppages in 7 fights when you've never fought anybody good is not a good record. This Makayev guy is dog shit to watch. I'm not one person in the world is going to miss him. Everyone's going, oh, the UFC have released him. The PFL don't want him. Bellator, who I know is with the PFL, they don't want him. One Championship don't want him. UFC don't want him. He's dog shit. He's just another... all these fucking... I know he's technically, like, been in Manchester since he was, like, 5 or something, but all these fucking Russian, Dagestani, fucking... all the other ones, they're dog shit to watch. Khabib was the only one, and even I hated Khabib. Khabib was the only one that was semi-okay to watch because he was he had serious ground and pound, you know what I mean? Whereas the others don't even have serious ground and pound. They just... Makhachev does, but he's a bit different. He's a champion. The rest of them, Makayev, all these lot, they're fucking terrible to watch. I'm glad the UFC have cut in. Good, get rid of all of them. Fuck them off. I don't want these... Makayev going the unanimous decision again. Dog shit fighters. Khabib was... Exactly, Mike. Khabib was dog shit. He was okay sometimes because he would get a finish, so you'd get a bit of excitement in the finish, but he was still dog shit to watch. He was terrible. I can tell when I'm not stoned, that would be halfway through now and I'd be going for a piss. But yeah, get rid of him. Arnold Allen, big win. That was a good win. I don't know where he goes from here. Maybe Yair Rodriguez, some Islam, not bad to watch. But Islam's not bad, Cal, because he's got hands. Islam's got stand-up. His hands are like massively underrated. Same for the other Nurmagomedov who fought the other day. I didn't realise it. Well, I thought he used to be boring to watch, but I think because he's been quite inactive, I think he's gone away and got hands because he outstruck Can you believe he outstruck Sandhagen? I couldn't believe that. This other guy as well, that Shara Bullet, he's not good, you know. He is not good. I know he's got one eye, and also just is not good. Like, it's mad that he's from Dagestan and can't wrestle. It's not just mad, but he's also not good. And then we've got the UFC Noche card. Has anyone actually seen the UFC Noche card? Do you not feel like with UFC 300 and this UFC Sphere card, Noche, Sphere? I've got a list, man. That's a Sphere. The cards are okay. Obviously, 300 was good. But the Dana White says before he announces the card, this is going to be one of the best cards of all time. It's going to be... And hypes up the card. Yes, Rob. Listen, Rob, I'm going to get... After summer finishes, say October... I'm going to be for in October. So after October, I'm going to get... These will be every week, I promise. But summer, I don't know... Just it's been tough. This year's been tough, and it's getting hard as well. I'm fucking selling an house, buying 2 houses, so it's an hard time for me at the minute. I'm busy doing stuff, but I enjoy them. These will just be like a thing where I just come on here for the rest of my life and just talk about what I've been up to, talk about current affairs, and probably just do these ones. So I enjoy doing it. I'm enjoying this now. I enjoy chatting to people. I want to talk about stuff all the time, and who's going to just listen to this bollocks from me all the time? No one, so you can just do it on here. If I message my mates and start talking about this just bollocks all the time, they'll just be like, God, Josh, go away. So, see what it is. Hang on, let me get the UFC Sphere card. Wiki. Here we go, 306. So I know it's O'Malley versus Merab, and then it's Grosso versus Shevchenko. And then you've got Brian Ortega, Diego Lopez. So the first 3 cards are unreal. And then after that, it's terrible. Raul Rosas Jr. versus Orle Queg, some Chinese guy. None of them are Mexican. Aldana's Mexican versus Dumont. Never heard of her. And then you've got Bahamadas versus Torres. There's 5 Mexican fighters on the UFC Noche. Mike, I can't get back on Twitter until Christmas because I've got £100 bet with you. So December on Boxing Day, I'll get back. Yeah, he is the ugliest person I think I've ever seen, Kyle. I know, Jamie. That's the first comment going on the screen. 308 is heavy. 308 looks sick, doesn't it? But can you believe they've put? So this ties in with the 2 subjects. They've put Max and Ilya Taporia on 308. Who the fuck who's going to headline Salt Lake City? Because obviously they've got Raquel Pennington versus Juliana Pena. That can't headline a fucking numbered event, surely. But who else? Right, let's go through all the champions, yeah? So, hang on, let's try UFC champions. All right. UFC. Also, I'm going to come back to this. No name. I don't think Twitter is coming back, especially not this year. Maybe next year. No name. No, not no name. Rob, UFC massive fell off. We're going to come back to that, right? We're going to come back to that. But let's just go back to 308. It's heavy first for now. Right. So, UFC, list of UFC champions. So, current champions. So, John Jones fighting in November. Tom Aspinall, ignore. Pereira just fought at UFC 300. Said he's having a bit of time off. Duplessis fighting at 305. Bilal Muhammad just fought. Said that Abu Dhabi was too soon. Islam Makhachev, they've just had to put Max versus Ilya at the head of Abu Dhabi because Islam's injured. Ilya Taporia fighting at Abu Dhabi. Sean O'Malley fighting at the Sphere. Pantoja just fought, not just Pantoja, but you're going to headline again with another flyweight card. And then women, you've got Raquel Pennington. Grosso's on the Sphere. Raquel Pennington's already on it. And then Weili Zhang. Realistically, all you could do for that Salt Lake City card, yeah, no, but I can't believe it, Kyle. Can you believe Bilal's a fucking world champion? What is the UFC coming to? But yeah, so what are you going to do for the Salt Lake City card? Seriously, unless they can stack it with big fights that's Rakhmonov. What do you mean, Brad? Rakhmonov, he's going to fight Bilal, but who knows when? That's not going to be. What I thought they should have done is blag Bilal to fight at Abu Dhabi against Rakhmonov, and then have Max versus Ilya at Salt Lake City, because that Salt Lake City pay-per-view is going to be fucking terrible. It's going to be like that Canada woman, Nunes. And even then, Nunes versus Pena. Nunes is a bigger name than that. Surely, bear in mind, they only go to Salt Lake City because the Salt Lake City state government pay them a site fee to be there 3 times. They pay, same way Australia's paid for 4, I think they paid for 4 cards. They get paid to go to Salt Lake City, and they're going to go to Salt Lake City with Raquel Pennington versus fucking Juliana Pena. Like, surely the government would have something to say about that. But yeah, so UFC fell off massively. Rob says UFC fell off massively. Anyone, a UK fan who lived through the Eddie Hearn last year at Sky surely must see what's going on here. If you listen to any of the interviews with Dana White about ESPN, I think it's quite clear that there's like a sort of like a fractured thing between them two. Like there's definitely some sort of like fallout between them, definitely between ESPN and UFC, and it's quite clear that UFC are not re-signing with ESPN, and I don't know if ESPN have even got not the money or resources because it's ESPN, but I don't think ESPN. I think they're going to get rid of ESPN Plus. So I don't think they're trying to re-sign UFC, especially not for the price that UFC is going to go. I think it's like a bit of a sort of like the worst secret ever that they're going to maybe going to Netflix, same way as wrestling has, because obviously they're owned by the TKO thing. Eddie Hearn, in his last year for Sky, when it was blatantly obvious to everyone, even Eddie Hearn hinted at it, that they were going to DAZN at the end of the Sky contract. Do you remember the last year of Sky cards he was putting on, where you had like women? I know it's not. I'm not women, but women fighters headlining like fight night cards for Eddie Hearn and on Sky, and you had like who else was it? Who was what other? It's hard to do straight off the top of my head, but those did like horrendous domestic fights headlining these fucking fight night cards because he had a certain amount of money he could spend, and I think he was just dragging all the money out of Sky. Plus, you move into DAZN, so you water down your competitor, your future competitor. That to me is what's happening with the UFC. Or like obviously, I think the UFC is watering down the product for ESPN because they know they're moving to either Netflix or whatever. He said it might even go to finger. It peaked with Jones, DC, and Conor in the Pomp Badlands. Yeah, I agree. I do agree. I don't think that, Kyle. I don't think he's. Dana White will never. I don't think Dana White will ever retire from the UFC because Dana White is a man that loves the status of being Dana White. He likes the fact that all celebrities want to come to UFC cards, and he can put them up at the UFC, and he can give tickets to people, and he can bring them backstage to meet the fighters. If you look at the rise of Dana White and look at him in the past, Dana White is obsessed with celebrity and being a celebrity. So I don't think he wants to walk away from the UFC because I think he cares too much about being. I think he cares too much about the status that being the whatever he is, CEO, chairman, president, whatever of the UFC brings with him in terms of like a celebrity circle. But yeah, I agree with that, Mike. I definitely think it peaked with Jones, DC, and the Conor and the Pomp. Yeah, but UFC is still red hot. Like, look at they're getting record gates everywhere they go. They go to like St. Louis for the work. Yes, Josh, where have you been, Sunderland, Josh, mate? Where have you been? They're getting record attendances, record gates, and everything. It's just massively watered down, isn't it? It's just fighting that. At least with these, I don't ever watch Apex cards. It does not. I even looked the other day, and Ricky Burns, Gilbert. What's Burns? What do we call Burns now? Burns. Gilberto Burns. What do we call him nowadays? What's his fucking first name? Burns. Oh my god. Burns, UFC. How have I just had a fucking brain fart? Gilbert Burns. We don't call him Gilbert Burns, do we? Has he not got a nickname? Whatever. Burns, anyway, is fighting somebody good at the Apex. And I promise you now, I will not... Yeah, Dalton Smith headline on Sky, mate. I promise you, I will not watch this no matter what it is. Whoever he's fighting someone good. Hang on. Yeah, Sean Brady. Sean Brady's unreal. But I'm not watching Sean Brady versus fucking Burns at the Apex. I don't watch any Apex cards. So, but it didn't matter because the Apex cards would always be shit, and the Fight Night and pay-per-view cards would always be good. But fuck you, Josh. But the Fight Night cards were always good. But now the Fight Night cards are terrible. The Fight Night card in Denver the other day with Rose headlining against Tracy Cortez, one of the worst Fight Night cards ever. And then the St. Louis card where Buckley was on the co-main, terrible. I just think he is massively, Dana White and the UFC, squeezing every last penny out of UFC, whilst also watering down the product of what's soon to be their rival. That's all I think. I just think it's the same as what Eddie Hearn did with Sky till he went to DAZN. And then when they move to wherever they move to, they'll make a splash on them cards. Right, what else have I got in my notes? UFC 308. We've been kind of through 308, haven't we? Robert Whittaker. Why? I'm not quite sure why Robert Whittaker's going back to the well against Chimaev. If Chimaev fucking pulls out of that, he has to be done. That's got to be unfinished. Here he is, back from burning down his own city. Yes. Me and Josh spoke about the Sunderland and Bolton thing. Josh is not... Josh put a thing on his story where it's like, mate, fuck all these right-wing protesters. What is going on? It makes you embarrassed. Obviously, I've always known I'm Farnworth through and through because I've lived in Farnworth all my life in the same house in Farnworth. But I'm also not a Boltoner. Do you know what I mean? Like, people who live in Bolton are usually like 6, 7 generation Boltoners. I'm not a staunch Boltoner where Bolton is racist to fuck, and it makes you embarrassed to be from where you're from when you see all this that's going on, like people smashing up places and stuff. And these people are so thick. When people turn up to these marches or whatever, these protests, and interview some of these people, and they're just the thickest people of all time. You just think, how do you get through life? Rob, you've got a cheek. How many times have you smashed your CO2 phone inside? Fucking right it is, lad. Right, anyway. What else have I got? Crawford. So I fell asleep, missed the whole Crawford fight. I always feel like a bit of a fraud, so I took a picture and put it on my Instagram story of the Crawford fight round 1 because I did stay up till the round 1 and then fell asleep, missed it, woke up about 9 in the morning, like, I've done it again. 2 weekends in a row, missed the whole Bilal Edwards fight, missed the whole Crawford fight, but I've not even watched it back. I think it was just, I'm not asked. And then I've seen that Turkey's now saying that I like this Turkey, I like the fact that he's a bit of a personality. It won't last, by the way. If you remember, it was a different person. Was it Skills Challenge who was in charge of the Saudi Arabian fund, and he did like Joshua versus Ruiz, and Eddie was in with him. Do you remember Eddie Hearn was in with the original Saudis, and then he left, and Turkey came in. Turkey never liked Eddie because Turkey doesn't like personalities that are bigger than him. Seeing the director of company who's been sentenced lost his job. Yeah, I seen that, Mike. Yeah. He was from, and there's another one, the first kid to be sentenced is from Bolton, a 19-year-old from Bolton. But yeah, Turkey, never liked Eddie, so Frank Warren had to bring Eddie on side, didn't he? But then Eddie will be able to talk his way into anyone, so now he's like fully in with Turkey. And the two people who just refuse to do business with Turkey, but if you think about it, these are the two people that don't need Turkey, Davis and Canelo. Both of them two are just like, do you know what I mean? We'll probably fight there if you give us crazy money, but we're not that asked about it because they both headline their own pay-per-views. They both get good guarantees. And he's like, yeah, Canelo I don't care if Canelo respects me or not, but he doesn't want to do good business and all this. But I don't want to see Canelo Crawford. Why? Surely the move. If you look at how empty 154 is in terms of Fondora's got 2 of the belts. Crawford could wipe out everyone at 154, and then he's a 3-time undisputed world champion. 3 weight division undisputed world champion. There's never been a male 3-time undisputed world champion. Has there ever? That would seriously now. If Crawford can beat Fundora, and then the other champion has just been mandated to fight Tim Zhu. If Crawford can beat Fundora and either Tim Zhu or whoever the other guy is, and he easily can. Let's have it right. He'll beat Fundora and he'll do dirty, nasty things to Fundora. And if he beats Tim Zhu or the other one, and comes undisputed at 154, undisputed at 147, undisputed at 140. Seriously, no, this is a serious thing that I'm saying here, and you're going to think about all the people that have boxed in the history of boxing. When it's all said and done with Crawford, we will have to, if he retires 3-time undisputed champion and undefeated, we'll have to have a conversation about Crawford being one of the best of all time. Though. Oh, Josh, don't. Josh, I was the biggest Spence fan ever. I said then I went watching Spence versus Brook at Bramall Lane. There was about 10 Spence fans there, and me and fucking Ollie was 2 of them. We nearly got fucking battered when he stopped him because we were jumping up and down, hugging each other and everything, shouting "Man down, strap season." And I loved Spence, love him. He's one of my favourite fighters of the new generation, new era. And I went into that fight. Josh, thinking that maybe he wouldn't win because of all the stuff that had preceded the fight, the car crash, the cataract, or the eye operation. He had 2 car crashes, didn't he? So I did think Crawford might win, but killer. It's happened twice now. That with that and Fury Usyk. I said after the Fury Usyk fight, do you know how horrible these boxing fights are when it's a massive world-stopping boxing fight? Because like I've said, MMA is probably hotter than boxing. And there's a lot of sports better than boxing, but a big boxing fight stops the world and everybody watches. And when one of these fights happens that stops the world, and you're on the wrong side of it, it's terrible, isn't it, Josh? It's awful. Spence never got his head boxed off by Brook for 8 rounds. What are you talking about, Rob? This is why I like Josh more than you, and why I like some of them more. How did Spence get his head boxed off by Brooks? What are you talking about? It was a 50-50 fight till about round 7, and then he punched a fucking hole in Brooks so much that he quit. Rob, you're talking garbage. Yeah, Kyle, rough, mate. They said, didn't he, if he'd, which is not a good advertisement for like the world, but if he'd had his seatbelt on, he'd be dead. He'd have died. He'd have not flown out the windscreen, and he'd have died. But because he had his seatbelt off, he lived. What else have we got? That's everything. Oh, Chisora, Joyce, no one's after me that. Both should retire. We all watched that here and couldn't believe that Chisora won, but yeah, both need to retire. Right, I think that's everything. We've been 55 minutes, and we don't need to keep going for another fucking 25 minutes talking garbage. I think, even though I've not really gone deep dived into all my subjects, well, we have sort of. I think I'm going to call that there. Lad, the knockdown was funny. Which knockdown? Oh, Chisora versus Joyce. It was like he put him down. It almost reminded me, obviously not the same, of like a really bad version of. Do you remember when Fury knocked down Wilder, where he just sort of like pushed him down by the power of just being bigger than him? It was like that, wasn't it? Like, it wasn't like a knockdown where Joyce got like hurt. It was like the force of the. It's hard to describe. It was like he put him over. I don't even know how to describe it. Me and Josh just turned up, lad. Anyway, this has been amazing. 56 minutes, almost an hour. But I suppose if you take off the 4 minutes of this is coming soon, it's not been quite that long. But yeah, me and Josh just turned up, lad, and now you're fucking off. Well, come in earlier. This has been going on for an hour now, and I'm starving. And look what I've got. Hang on, I'll show you now. So I didn't want to eat it all before I got in here, because sometimes if I overeat when I got in here, I feel sick. I feel like it's wasted that everyone's just going to think I'm a hardcore MMA fan, but look, the boxing ones are up there as well. You've got Crawler Barroso, Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, and Mayweather Pacquiao. Anyway, look what I've got to enjoy now. Hang on. I'm gonna put it in the air fryer. Oh, look at that. As the pizza. Spicy chicken, I'll show you now. You got spicy chicken, spicy beef, pepperoni, and bacon, and I add my own yellow peppers. And I'm going to fucking air fry all that and love it. So, everyone, it's been amazing, but I'm going to go. Yeah, it's been amazing. Thank you, everyone. Bye. 24p if you're saying that. I'm gonna have, pizza on pita bread. That's what I'm having. Bye, everyone. It's been amazing. Love you all.